Good evening, everyone. Welcome to yet another meeting at Spearhead Toastmasters. My name is Rupinder, and I am officiating as the Sergeant at Arms for today. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. That is the mission statement of any Toastmasters club around the world. And that is also an indication that you're now inside the code of conduct of a Toastmasters meeting. Please be advised that this meeting is being recorded. And since it is being recorded online, it may be possible to pause the recording should you so desire. The following are the meeting rules. For audience, please be advised that any behavior that disturbs the flow of the meeting will result in removal from the meeting room without any warning whatsoever. Please ensure that your noise-making devices such as your cell phones, tablets, kids are either switched off or on silent mode. Please speak responsibly on religion, sex, and politics in your speeches as far as possible. Keep your videos on, your audio off, and applause flowing throughout. Role players, Toastmaster, Table Topic Master, General Evaluator, please ensure a smart audio video check before you hand over the stage to respective role players. Role players, please rename yourself as role player hyphen your name, your club name. You may omit the club name if you're already a member of Spearhead Toastmasters or Turning Point Toastmasters. Please acquaint yourself with the role of a timer. As you can see, the timer is using background change to indicate time using one of three cards. Green means that you've reached the minimum qualifying time. Yellow means that it's a good time to start concluding. And red means that you have 30 seconds more or you will be disqualified. Individual session timings will be explained in due time. Zoom, we encourage you to use the Zoom emoticons generously to encourage role players. We sincerely request you not to send chat messages to everyone or the speaker on stage. In fact, try to refrain from chatting altogether. Reiterating, please stay on mute until specifically requested to unmute. Polls will be launched after each section and they will be closed after 30 seconds. In short, be the kind of audience that you would want for yourself. If I could summarize these rules, I would say this sentence. Now, let me get busy with introducing the presiding officer for today. Our presiding officer for today, I would like to imagine, is a very relaxed person. Now that she is an iPad. When I say iPad, I do not mean the device. I mean immediate past area director, and a successful one at that. She is a PD iPad, which is a president distinguished in immediate past area director. But more than that, she served as the role, she served as a club president, a club vice president, public relations, and now is assisting me in spearheading of Spearhead Toastmasters. Let us welcome with a huge round of applause, soon to be distinguished Toastmaster, Vishakha Sharma.
Thank you, Rupinder, for such a generous introduction. I, Vishakha, VP membership for Spearhead Toastmasters, will be serving as your presiding officer for today. Journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. Today, we have with us guests who will be taking their first step towards joining Toastmasters. Padmakumar, Sher Singh, Priyanka Gupta, and Arshid Jaman. Welcome you all to our meeting. Our club has enthusiastic members, leaving a mark wherever they go. Our club member, distinguished Toastmaster Rupinder Singh, was invited as a keynote speaker where he spoke about Toastmasters and career growth. Kudos to you, Rupinder. Our member Toastmaster Nimit is appointed as Area Director for Area M4 for the term July 2021 to June 2022. Congratulations, Nimit. All investments are subject to market risk, a statement that we grew up listening. Today, Our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Nimit, is going to talk about the best investment we can make. And without any further ado, I would like to invite him. Maybe he can tell us something, some investment that is not subject to market risks. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Nimit.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. Real estate, mutual funds, gold, for the hottest one of these days, cryptocurrency. I'm sure most of you would be exploring these avenues to invest your hard-earned money with a hope to get greater and profitable returns. After all, we must all provide for ourselves and our family for the rest of our lives. Yes, investing in finances is crucial for having a safe life with a decent style. Having said that, is it the best investment you can ever make? Hmm? Well, money can buy most of the things, but cannot buy everything. There are few things which it cannot buy, but investing in them can earn you prestigious returns. What are they? Well, let us see through the course of the meeting today. But for now, let us invest ourselves in the Toastmasters meeting we are part of right now. Today's Toastmasters meeting is divided into 4 sections. First, the prepared speech section, where the speakers of the day will be delivering engaging speeches as part of their curriculum. Next, a special power-packed educational session on how to conduct seamless Zoom meetings professionally. Next, we move on to the fun-filled table topic section, where every one of you will get a chance to speak impromptu on a given topic. And last but not the least, the evaluation section, where everyone gets a chance to improve. How we improve? Well, let's know from the general evaluator of the day, who has over 2 decades of professional experience in coaching and training. He is a semi-finalist of a world champion in public speaking and a double distinguished Toastmaster. Yes, you guessed it right. I'm talking about Toastmaster Rupinder Singh, who believes Toastmaster is the best investment in life he has ever made. Why? Let's hear it from the man himself. Toastmaster Rupinder.
Thank you, Nimit. The reason why I say that Toastmaster is the best investment that I have made in life, because here is one place that I can speak. I'm a husband since 21 years, and my job is usually to remain quiet. And this is one place where I get to speak garrulously. If you don't know what garrulous means, you should look up the dictionary. It means a person who talks a lot. It is not the word of the day. I would like to welcome our Division M Director, also a club member, a distinguished Toastmaster, Anant Katyayni. Sir, you're most welcome. Please make yourself comfortable. We'll look to hear from you very soon. In a Toastmasters meeting, you have evaluators. Now, you might think, guests, that anybody comes and delivers a speech, and then there is a evaluator who's probably at the level of a reporting manager who can say anything and literally get away with it. Well, that's not going to happen. Not while I am the general evaluator. Yes, you guessed it right. I am here to monitor the meeting. I'm like that class monitor who will write names on the wall so that we get to know who are the culprits. Not exactly. Remember, we provide a supportive and positive learning experience. So in that spirit, I will be aided by my speech evaluators today, who will help me evaluate speeches. I will also be aided by 3 trusted lieutenants who will help me in keeping our communication concise, clear, and correct. And I have taken too much of stage time. Let me give the stage time to my fellow auxiliary role players. Now, the first thing that we have to remember about communication is to keep it concise. The person who helps us do that is our timer. And our timer today is one of the most diligent people I know. Toastmaster Rama Chopade will be playing the role of a timer. She will be indicating the time by sharing the timing screens. Typically, prepared speeches are from 5 to 7 minutes. At 5 minutes, she'll show a green card. At 6 minutes, she'll show a yellow one. And at 7 minutes, she will show a red card. There's a 30-second grace period on either side for the speaker in order to qualify. Individual session timings will be explained by respective speech evaluators in case the speech time is different from 5 to 7 minutes. We also have a special module today that will range from 8 to 10 minutes. So Rama, I would request you to raise the green card at 8 minutes, 9 minutes, and 10 minutes. There's a 30-second grace on both the sides, and it will be conducted by distinguished Toastmaster Anant Katyayni. Table topics are from 1 to 2 minutes, 1, 1.5, and 2 minutes for green, yellow, and red. And there's a 30-second grace only on the upper side, not on the lower side. So you have to speak for a minimum of 1 minute, maximum 2 minutes, 30 seconds. Evaluations run from 2 to 3 minutes, 2, 2.5, and 3 for green, yellow, and red, respectively. There's a 30-second grace on both the sides. That is it for the timer. May I request the R counter to please turn on her video so that I can spotlight her. Our R counter is a debutante. She is performing the role for the first time. Her name is Kanika. Kanika will be responsible for making our communication clear. You see, many times we utter words like basically stuff like that. I will not say acidically today. Again, I said it, but she will be watching out for those words. She will be counting those words. And in the evaluation section, she is going to tell you how many times you use each word. Our grammarian for today is not exactly a debutante. She's done this role before, but I would now like Surbhi to be spotlighted. Surbhi will be responsible for keeping our communication correct. May I request the Techmaster to please spotlight Surbhi? So Surbhi will be responsible for keeping our communication correct, and she'll be watching out for the good usages and the not so good usages. Surbhi is also here with a word of the day, which she would like to share with us. Surbhi, if you could illuminate us with your word of the day.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests, greetings to you all. So the word of the day is foster. Foster, which means encourage the development of something, and especially something desirable. I'll give you an example. The EC of Spearhead Toastmasters is trying the best to their abilities to foster its development. You can use this word in your speeches, in your reports, anything. Nextly, I have the idiom of the day. The idiom of the day is miss the boat. Miss the boat means it's too late. Sometimes it takes so much time that we become late to grab that opportunity. For example, in lives, there are times when we are not able to grab a particular opportunity and we miss the boat. However, we can definitely have second chances because life gives it to everyone. So I would request you all to please use the word and idiom of the day. I will be coming at the end of the meeting and present my report. Over to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, Surbhi. You won't be coming at the end of the meeting because nobody will be there to listen to you. You'll be coming during the evaluation section when I call you on stage, which is towards the end of the meeting. And in the spirit of not missing the boat on time and fostering a learning culture, fostering a bonhomie, a culture of fellowship in Spearhead Toastmasters, I hand it back to our Toastmaster of the meeting, Toastmaster Nimit Mittal.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator, for introducing about the evaluation section and with your tag players for today. So now let us come to the most important investment, the best investment we can ever make. Health. Yes, you heard me right. Health is one of the most critical components of a person's well-being and thus must be regarded as the most important investment as well. not as an expense. We should all invest activities in pertaining to physical, mental, and emotional health, like regular exercise, proper nutrition, adequate rest, good eating habits, positive mental attitude, meditation, yoga, etc. Mind this, if every running machine of this world needs maintenance, then definitely the most complex of them all, our body. Having good health will not only let you enjoy your wealth, but also prepare you for future to help you sail through any unprecedented challenges in life. Likewise, we have prepared speakers for the day who, having invested their time and effort, are now prepared to deliver their speeches and take yet another step in their Toastmasters journey. Today's speakers are Toastmaster Heena and Rajesh. Before I call them upon one by one, let me introduce to their fellow evaluators, starting with the first evaluator, Toastmaster Anant. He has been duly already introduced by the general evaluator, but yes, let me bring him on the stage. I must say that he is my real friend, a good friend, apart from being a Division M director, under whose leadership I would be also assisting him. According to him, the investment he made in reading and rereading the book, The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, which he considers to be a powerhouse of hope, optimism, and positivity, has helped him to become a lighter, calmer, and a wiser personality. So let's see and let's hear it from the evaluator, Anant, to read out the speech objectives of Toastmaster Heena.
Thank you so much, Nimit. Certainly, you are highlighting all the good investments and perhaps the best investment one can make. And on that note, I feel for being a good presenter, one should invest in learning how to use a presentation software. So Toastmaster Heena today is going to display just that. In fact, her objective, the elective that she has chosen is using presentation software. And the purpose of this project is for the member to introduce or review basic presentation software strategies for creating and using slides to support or enhance a speech. Purpose of this very speech is for the member to demonstrate his or her understanding of how to use the presentation software, including the creation of slides and incorporating the technology into a speech. Timer, please note, timing is 5 to 7 minutes. All the very best to Heena. Over to you, Nimit.
Thank you very much, Anant. So before I move on to the speaker, a quick check whether she would be needing any co-host rights, the screen sharing rights.
Yes.
So that I can enable them.
Thank you, Nimit. I would be needing.
The screen sharing is enabled for all participants. We're good.
Thanks for that confirmation.
Should I go ahead and share my screen?
You want to demonstrate it, is it? When you want to do a quick check? Let me introduce you first.
All right, go ahead.
Toastmaster Heena, the first speaker of the day, is Vice President Education of Spearhead Toastmasters. Being just about a couple of weeks into the role, has already taken the club by storm with her ambitious and exciting plans for the members in the club. A talent manager specialist by profession, but a globetrotter by passion. Believes her best investment has been in herself, sharpening the saw over time. So Toastmaster Heena, a dream bride, Toastmaster Heena.
Before I get started, can I do a quick check on the visibility of my screen and my own video? Is it all perfect?
Yes, perfect. Please go ahead.
Thank you so much. Congratulations. Today is your day. You're off to great places. You're off and away. You have brains in your head. You have feet in your shoes. You have, you can steer yourself to any direction you choose. You're off to great places. You're on your own. And you know where you want to go. You are the guy who will decide where to go. Oh, the places you will go. Fellow Toastmasters and my dear friends, this book, published by Dr. Zeus in 1990, is one of the best known books being gifted for new graduates as they enter the phase of their journeys and the next life. It's a story about a little boy who's off to achieve his dreams, and anything he dreams can be achieved. That's the spirit. This book was gifted to me as well by my sister when I was a teenager. Along with the book, she also gifted me a wall mural, which read, "Aim for the stars. At least you will land on the moon." And yes, I took it very seriously. And I made sure I dream and create my own journey and dream the impossible. I was determined to make a mark in this world, in this place. I was reading for inspiration, whether it was motivational stories, autobiographies, anything I was doing, I was finding an inspiration, including watching cartoon movies, which I still enjoy. So there, I was watching an Aladdin movie where Aladdin was taking Jasmine on a magic carpet ride. And he was singing this romantic song of a whole new world. I couldn't relate to the romanticism in the song at all. But all that I could relate was the possibilities of going on a magic carpet ride. I kept singing this song like a broken record. A whole new world, a new fantastic point of view. No one to tell us no or where to go in this whole new world with you. A whole new world. A new fantastic point of view. While girls of my age in my house were busy learning how to cook and doing their trousseau shopping for the big fat Indian wedding, I was busy reading the Economic Times, and I was wondering whether I will get a chance to be featured in it too. Well, I wanted to be like the people who were being spoken about in the Economic Times. It meant a lot to me. I read a phrase, a poetry by the British writer Thomas Lawrence, and it read, "All men dream, but not equally. Those who dream by the night are in the dusty fellas of their minds, wake up to find the dream but in a vanity. But the dreamers of the day are dangerous, for they are the men who will act on their dream and make it possible." I knew I was that dangerous dreamer, but I was even more dangerous than the dangerous dreamer. I was the dangerous women dreamer. Yes, I had bigger battles to fight. So there, in fact, I was being reminded and given periodic reality checks of what could be the real possibilities. I very vividly remember a dialogue I was having with my cousin. And I told him, when I grow up, I want to buy a car and go on a long ride across India. He laughed his heart out and he said, "Buy a car? You won't be even able to buy a tire. And FYI, you need 4 tires on a car. Forget about buying car. You concentrate on cooking and taking care of kids because that's what you will end up doing." Ouch, that pinched me hard. And I was like, that's not an argument I want to have. It's not worth my time. So I continued dreaming. I'm a Piscean. I like to dream and I enjoy doing that. So I was dreaming with my wide eyes awake and driving the car as I built it. It wasn't easy. I've had my own shares of failures, challenges, demotivating situations, but I decided to pick this up as learning opportunities and move on. And last year, guess what? I sent my cousin a picture. This was my fourth car and my 20th tire. I was still managing the kid, enjoying cooking, having a career, and having a time of my life. I had no regrets. And I'm glad I did that because I am a dreamer and I would like to take on long rides. A few months ago, I gifted the same book to my son, who is now in his teenage and now ready for his journey to achieve his dreams. And as we were reading this book out loud, I got a message on my WhatsApp. And what was the message? The chutney map of India. The dreamer in me said, wow, this is what I want to do next. I want to go on a long ride to India, enjoy the various cultures, and taste the lovely chutney. So, be your name Buxom, Bixie, or Bray, or Modestia, Ali, Van Allen, or Shay. You're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting. So, get on your way. Fellow Toastmasters, how many of you are ready to come with me on my dream chutney tasting ride? Thank you so much. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Heena, for that lip-smacking end to your speech. Let us have a 1-minute silence to record feedbacks for the speaker. You can do so on one-to-one chats. Timer, please intimate once the 1 minute is over. In the meanwhile, I would like to have the second speaker on the standby, please. And can we have a quick AV check for the second speaker?
Nimit, are you able to hear me?
Yes, I can hear you and I can also see you. Thank you. Please be on standby. Thank you, timer. So let us go on to enjoy the second speech. But before that, let me call upon his evaluator of the day, Toastmaster Surjit. He thinks his best investment is the time he devotes in meditation and family life. After all, that is what it gives him strength from within. So please welcome Toastmaster Surjit to share the evaluation objectives of the second speaker, Rajesh.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. Rajesh is delivering speech for Project 3 from Level 3 from Leadership Development Path. Purpose of the speech is to clearly define how Toastmasters envision mentoring. The purpose of the speech for the member to share some aspect of the previous experience as a protein. Speech length is 5 to 7 minutes. Good luck, Rajesh, for your speech. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Surjit. Toastmaster Rajesh is literally the most bankable Toastmasters in the club because he's the treasurer 2.0 of Turning Point Toastmasters. By profession, he handles and manages resources for IT projects, who is always in growing zone, professionally and in Toastmasters. He values the investment done in relationships with the near and dear ones as the help and love which comes back from them is manifold. Toastmaster Rajesh, power of mentoring in Toastmasters. Power of mentoring in Toastmasters. Toastmaster Rajesh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nimit. What is the purpose of to join the Toastmasters? Before these meetings, I asked many Toastmaster members why they want to join the Toastmaster Club. According to them, either they want to polish their English skill or want to be a good speaker. Even many of them want to tone their leadership skills. Or like me, who joined the Toastmaster Club to socialize and making friends to get to know more people. So all these activities or all these roles, who will help you to achieve these goals? Mentor, right? Let's start with the simple examples. Once upon a time, in a village, 3 farmers are living and they have their own crop fields. Unfortunately, all the crop fields are affected by pest. So the first farmer went ahead and built a strong fences. The second farmer, he went ahead and putting a scrap crop. The third one, he put that one's pesticides. But unfortunately, none of them were able to get rid of this issue. One day, a farmer who was the village head and their teacher passed by that road and noticed the situations. He understood the problems and he called all the 3 farmers together, gave one stick to them and asked, break it. So each one able to break it easily. Then he gave a bundle of sticks, asked them to break. None of them, it was struggled and it was not easy. The farmer then said, when you are together, you are stronger. And he left. The 3 farmers realized the situations and pooled their resources. Install all the 3 options what they have and they get rid of the pest issue. So what the farmer or teacher has done in these scenarios, this is exactly the Toastmaster envision mentorships. The mentorship of the Toastmaster is not about holding your hand and taking you around each roles. Do it in this way, do it in that way, or make yourself a replica to that person's. But it is actually to hear your problems, hear your goals, and try to help you on that to achieve those goals. The Toastmaster meetings, the Toastmaster internationals, who are the mentors? Each mentor they have selected, we are selecting, they are also mentee in the previously. So the relationship between mentor and mentee is what drives you towards a Toastmaster meetings. When you see that somebody is being unconditionally or somebody is without any agenda to supporting you and lifting you off. At times, a mentor in the Toastmasters shift from a role to mentor or a coach. Now, a mentor is somebody who looks at you the longer goals and help you to reach there. But the coach is someone who works with you on all the smaller goals. If I'll take my examples, when I joined, that time my mentor, DTM, or I can tell that division directors, Anant, he helped me a lot. Initially, I was not able to speak 30 seconds for any double topics. I was thinking that I missed the boat, but he listened me and guided me. He not only gave the courage and suggest when something is conflicting between your thoughts or feelings, that times you follow your feelings. Now, even I understand that times Anant was busy and I changed my mentor to Ragini. She also listened my each and every problems and guide me each and every steps. Before the meetings, always I was checking with her, how I can present or how I can cope up from the fearness. She was guiding me, and whenever I called anything, she is helping me. So mentorship is a program or mentorship. I understand that once, though I have not started the mentorship programs here, but in my corporate jobs, many people, they are reaching out to me and asking for help, or unknowingly or knowingly, I am mentoring them. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Rajesh, for that beautiful take on mentorship. Indeed, it is the most important aspect of Toastmasters, and yet an investment we should all be making. Let us have a minute of silence to record feedbacks for the speaker. Thank you, Verma. So now, okay, so let us be ready as we can choose who was the best speaker today. So please vote for the best speaker between Heena and Rajesh. All right, so let's get ready for the special highlight of the day today. We all miss physical meetings, don't we? Yes, I know. However, we know that online meetings have become a mainstay and an integral part of our lives today. Be it Toastmasters or at our corporate world, we cannot live without the online meetings, be it Zoom or any other platform. But do you want to know how can we emulate physical meetings in a virtual world? How can we conduct professional online meetings for enhanced experience of all the participants? If all these questions are hovering in your mind, so let us just welcome the session facilitator who is the master of this art. Couple of terms ago, he took over as the Sergeant at Arms at Turning Point Toastmasters. We were entering into this virtual setup, and we had no idea initially as to how it will all happen. But this person took charge, took the leadership of highest order, and owned the role of the Sergeant at Arms plus Techmaster. He not only excelled at the club level, but also took it further and assisted the district itself with various sessions on how to be an effective tech master. So let's hear it for none other than the Division M Director of District 41, Distinguished Toastmaster Anant Katyayni. Take it away.
Thank you, Nimit. May I request you to allow me co-host access? Thank you. Let me now, meanwhile, ask everyone, what is your opinion on technology and online meetings? Bad question to ask. See, I got no answer for straight 5 seconds. Let me ask in a different manner now. Mr. Padmakumar, may I ask you, what is your favorite tool or app for online meetings?
It is Zoom.
See, I got a straightforward answer. So ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead with tip number 1 for today, straight away, without any context setting, anything at all. It is about engagement. So straightforward, being an online trainer, as I usually give a few tips to my students when we are beginning a batch, I will do the same for you today. I will give you 3 tips. The first one always has been and will always be about engaging with your audience. So what do you think now that I did wrong in the first question? Let me ask Deepika. Deepika, why did I not get a straightforward answer in the first question? And why did I get an immediate answer from Padma?
I think it was an open-ended question, and the other one you given the option to tell the fact that which option
I think
should go.
Deepika deserves a good round of applause from all of us. She nailed it completely. Ask a smart question, a close-ended question, preferably a binary question which requires you to sometimes, as an average audience member, just answer in a yes or no, or maybe like this, or maybe raise a hand, or just keep the hand down. Such kind of engagement right in the beginning would bring the audience closer to you always and always, versus what is your opinion? Well, if you have an opinion, even if you have an opinion, you will keep it with yourself, because of course, neither I did point my gun towards a specific individual. So I did not ask any specific person, nor was the question, did the question require a specific answer? It could have been any open-ended answer. So ask a specific person, or at least ask in a manner which is binary or close-ended. That's tip number 1. Now, tip number 2. When most of the time you are supposed to be on the spotlight, and while we have seen Heena doing a presentation software, using a software during her presentation, that's completely fine. But I always believe that focus is on the presenter and not on any content or any presentation software. It is the human we are interacting with. So it is utmost important that we get a few video things right. Number 1 is the eye contact, and I know Rupinder is perhaps smiling in his heart, because I'm going to use his own tip that in order to keep our focus on the lens and not on the screen like this, well, it's a matter of habit. Either you start using a small strip which you can stick behind the lens on your laptop, or like I'm doing right now on my mobile, and slowly it will become a habit that you will reply while looking at the lens, because hey, that is how we make an eye contact. A more involving communication happens between the individuals as well as the presenter, only and only if we make the eye contact with the lens, because then I will get the opportunity to look straight into your eyes. Now, the third and the most important tip, well, along the way on the second tip, a little bit of adjusting the camera angle is also required. What if my camera angle is something like this? That's not a very impressive thing, isn't it? At the same time, if I don't have a good physical background like I'm having right now, so what do you do then? Well, you use a virtual background like I am doing right now. So this is my original background. Can you see that? Give me a verbal confirmation if you can. Padma, Rupinder, can you see this virtual background, real background?
Yes.
Yes.
See, it's a little bit patchy in the background, though the wall paint is completely fine. But sometimes you may have even buffaloes roaming around you, maybe on a street or on a railway station. You can blur it. The moment you blur it like that, fine. But these kind of virtual backgrounds are not impressive. Well, you may find them impressive in your own heart, that you are sitting in space or perhaps on a journey somewhere on a bridge. But when you are making a presentation, use a presentation software background which is add-on, a value add-on to your content. Maybe if it's an official presentation, use something like a virtual office setup, and this will add some mileage to your speech. If you use something like a beach and talk about something formal, it will not go in sync. You have to keep it in sync. Don't you agree? So there is a time and place for everything. So you're dressing along the way, your background, both go hand in hand. So I will switch it back to something that everyone would enjoy, though it is not formal. So I will keep this background for the remainder of my presentation, so every one of you can enjoy. Now, the tip number 3 and the final tip. We have a few things, especially in Zoom, but in a couple of other tools as well, in Microsoft Teams, in WebEx, but Zoom is much more user friendly. That is why I would like to unlock some important tips that every one of us should be comfortable in using. Ladies and gentlemen, you can use interventions like these, and these will really take it to altogether different level when you are trying to explain a concept like this. So what if I want to point out to Jim, here is Jim. If you can see that on my screen, kudos. That is something which is usually not possible in a physical environment, but where physical environments give us some kind degree of freedom, virtual environment give us a different kind of freedom. Let us use them and not feel inferior that, hey, we can't be there in physical, so we are a little bit restricted. It opens up new doors. Let's embrace them. So to summarize, first tip, start engaging right in the beginning. Direct your canon towards an individual or a cluster of people, at least a hopeful person who is likely to give you an answer, just like I did with Padma. Ask an open and close-ended or binary question. Get your camera angles right. Get your eye contact right. Get your virtual background right, because 93% of communication, it is said, is verbal and vocal based. Words do matter, but not more than 7%. That is a 40-year-old research. But it is without reproach that visuals, especially in the online medium, play a lot of part. And the final tip, you start using whiteboarding, start using screen sharing, not just sharing a content, a PPT, but maybe something interactive like I just did. And that is it from my side today. In the remainder of time, I feel I have taken about 8.5 minutes. So for the remainder of time, any quick Q&A, any questions, I'm open to that. Yes, Padma.
So when using a virtual background, many times the image starts, kind of looking very hazy. Ghost images start appearing, and sometimes parts of the body are not visible. Do you have any advice when we use?
Yes. So if I use a virtual background, something like this, and if I go a little bit behind, my hand will start disappearing. So first step is use a solid background image and be closer to the lens. Especially your facial expressions and your hand gestures will be visible if you are closer to the camera. Of course, lighting has to be good. It should fall on your face, not come from behind, or a sunlight which should be available right in the front or from the sideways, not from the behind. That is one. But basically, this is what happens when you don't have proper background and your hands are a little bit behind. I hope that answers your question.
Yep.
Okay, time is up for me. In case someone has a question, why don't you ping it to me in person using personal chat, another good feature of Zoom. So I hand it over now back to the Toastmaster of the day, also my good friend, Toastmaster Nimit. Nimit, you're up.
Thank you very much, Anant, for that very, very insightful session on Zoom mastering. I'm sure we all are heading back after learning something or the other and would make these online meetings very, very interesting going forward. As we go forward, let us again switch back to the theme of the day, that is the investments. I've already talked about health, the primary investment we should be making, but yet another investment avenue which we should be tapping is the network and relationships. Being out there, networking at work, society, and in Toastmasters, we are probably meeting a lot of amazing people, isn't it? Here, you have a chance to create relationships and networks that could sustain the rest of your life. Building relationships can lead to building real influence over time. Popular author Porter Gale describes network as net worth. An important point here to note though here is that networking isn't about how many people you know. It is about how many people know you. And to excel in the same, you need to strike a positive and instant impression, ace interpersonal skills, smile, and have a calm personality with a certain degree of sharpness. So let us try out all these skills, put them in use in our next fun-filled section called the table topics. This would be headed by the table topics master, Vishakha Sharma, the go-to person for any queries about the club and the membership. An ex-area director was serving as the vice president membership of this club. She's also a cycling enthusiast who believes taking the course that taught her about basic healthy lifestyle is the best investment she has ever made. Over to you, Vishakha.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nimit. Before we proceed, who will be taking care of the Techmaster role for this section? Is it Unique is here? If we can take over. Because you are the general evaluator as well.
We'll manage Vishakha. So
okay. So moving over to the section. As table topic master, I have certain topics with me, and the volunteers will be given the topics on the spot, and they will have to speak on the topics for 1 to 2 minutes. Timer and the speakers, please note that green card needs to be shown at 1 minute, yellow card at 1 minute 30 seconds, red card at 2 minutes till the speaker concludes the speech. So for the first topic, can I have an experienced Toastmaster to take up the topic? And if you wish to nominate, you can raise your hand or write it over the chat box. We have distinguished Toastmaster Raj Mehta. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Vishaka.
So let's start the section with you.
Sure.
The topic is worst advice someone has ever given to you regarding investments.
Okay. Every person in this world invests something somewhere. It may be money, it may be time, it may be efforts, it may be your ethics for making lives of others better or sometimes worse. We come across many people who would give you advice for investing something somewhere, but at times we get advices which will make you fall down from the position where you are, or you will feel that there is some loss in your life due to that advice. I once started trading in stock market, and I appointed a company as my brokering agent. Now the main work of a brokering agent is to ensure that a person or a client does as many deals as possible on daily basis or monthly basis, because they will get commission. And when I started dealing in metals like gold, silver, and copper, they asked me to buy so much gold, so much silver, so much copper in the commodity market. I lost around 5 lakh rupees, but somehow I came across another friend of mine who told me that this is the case with all the stockbroker agents. So I had to be careful. Taking advice from that friend, I started investing in the stock market myself, and over a period of 4 or 5 months, I was able to get all my money back. Thankfully, I saved myself just because of the advice of a friend. But otherwise, there are people who had given me the worst advice in my life. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Raj sir. Listening to such stories is always, you get to learn one thing or the other. Now, can I have the volunteer for this next topic? Or else I'll have to pick it up myself. Okay. So we have Padmakumar. Can you take up the next topic?
Sure.
Sure. Topic for you is, if you have to teach a lesson to your younger self on investing, what would that be?
30 years in the corporate world, and that too in companies like Hindustan Lever, Maersk, Microsoft, which are among the best paymasters in the industry. 5 years in a consulting company, owning and running a good, successful consulting company. A fairly decent bank balance. Maslow's need hierarchy, more than satisfied at the bottom level. But still, I consider myself poor, at least until recently. I did not have a daughter. Until recently? You mean to say recently you had a daughter? Hear me out, friends. I was blessed with 2 sons. And everybody said, oh, you're so lucky, go and eat biryani every day. But let me tell you, a daughter is the best investment that one can make. At a late stage, since I was not in a position to now generate any daughters, I did the next best thing. Got 2 daughters-in-law. And today I am rich because of the loving care that we get from our daughters-in-law. So the advice to anybody in that age group is, get a daughter. No matter what you have to do, get yourself a daughter. Thank you very much. Back to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Padmakumar. Can we have a next volunteer? I don't, oh, I see Unique raising his hand. Okay, Unique. So the topic for you is the craziest investment related fraud that you have ever heard.
Well, to be very frank, I'm not very well read in this sphere. I'm not really into investment or anything. Only investment I make is LIC and PPF, so you understand where I'm coming from. So I'm not aware of any frauds, but some of my friends have like invested in some companies which they lost a lot of money, and some gained also. So I think some were lucky and some were not. So it was like Bitcoin. I don't know what Bitcoin is or anything is. I know people will raise eyebrows that we don't know Bitcoin, but I don't know. And I just know that some of my friends gains a lot of money from it, and some of my friends lost a lot of money. So that is the definition of Bitcoin as far as I am concerned. But yes, I think in general, investments not only pertain to money. So people also lose themselves in investing in wrong things, not necessarily money but relationships also. So I know some people that who get into relationships. I'm just not talking about romantic relationships here, every kind of relationships where people tend to please others and they lose themselves. And that to me is also a kind of a crazy investment, because it's never worth to lose yourself, even if no matter what you are gaining. So yes, I mean, yeah, whether investment is financial, emotional, or anything, always stick to your core values and never compromise on them. And I think if you do that, all the investment would work fine for you. Thank you, and over to you, table topic master.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Unique, for such a well attempted topic. I have another nomination from Kanika. Kanika, can you please unmute yourself?
Hi.
Hi, Kanika. So the topic for you is spending money on a world tour or investing your money in gold. What would you do?
Thank you, Vishakha, for this topic. And it's very, very clear and a very direct answer for me, because it will be definitely investing in a world tour. I believe that life should be judged by the experiences that you've had. And for me, traveling is my first love. So if I have the kind of money which I can take a world tour from, then definitely that would be the best investment for me, because I think that would give me rich experiences. It will help me enhance my perspective and also foster a life in which I'm able to not just develop myself, but also help and contribute around me with the skills which I have. So traveling would be the best investment. Also, I feel that I would never feel that I'm missing the boat, because since I've booked a world tour, it will ensure that I'll be covering most of the places. So I won't have to worry about planning the trip, or I won't have to worry about missing out on anything, because since it's already a world tour, it will help me cover a lot of places. So that is what it is. And definitely it's a world tour for me over gold. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kanika. So do we have another volunteer for the topic? Okay, so we have Deepika. So the topic for you is, if someone tells you about an investment scheme that doubles your money, would you go for it?
Hi, Vishaka. Thanks for giving me the topic. And I've finally got the courage to do the raise hand. So as you are my mentor, so I definitely have to do my raise hand. Otherwise, you will volunteer me. So yeah, so the topic is that if someone tells me to then my money will get double in a particular investment, so if I will choose that or not. So I'll tell you a story. I'm very much into share market, so I do my research and invest in shares. So I recently got a call from one of the broker agent. So the girl over the phone was telling me that we guys do give you the share market, share tip, in which your money will be 3x or 4x, or it will turn into a multi-bagger, and you can earn a lot into just 2 months, 3 months. And like you said that your money will get double. So it just in a month of span of 3 months or 4 months, so which is just a very short period of time to get this amazing amount. So I just straight away said to her that there I don't feel, and she also has another plan, which is a long-term investment plan. So which was, if you have to you stick to the shares for 5 years, which are your blue chip companies if you invest in. So she asked me that which plan would you like to go for? So I said that I would rather choose a plan which is for 5 years, which is for long-term strategy, because there is no easy money that you can make out in just 2-3 months. So it's sort of a gambling rather than investment strategy. So yeah, so that was a pretty plain answer that I have for her, and for this topic as well, that yes, I will go for the long-term strategies rather than being put myself into trouble by just these lucrative ideas that people bring for because this is your finally hard-earned money, and then you should also have that sense that nothing comes free and nothing comes so easily, and remembering about that money movie as well, in which Akshay Kumar movie, in which they double their money. So I don't think that there is anything of that sort. So yeah, thank you so much for the quite interesting topic.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Deepika. So unique here, we had a crazy investment fraud, the one scene from the movie Hera Fairy that Deepika just talked about. So I saw Sher Singh raising his hand. Can you please unmute yourself? Sure.
Yes.
So the topic for you is the first thought that comes in your mind when you hear the word investment. The first thought that comes in your mind when you hear the word investment.
Thank you for giving me this topic. And yes, the first thought when I hear this word investment, I feel that you have to be smart. You have to have some knowledge to invest your money, because somewhere I think if you have money, it is very easy to invest, but it is so hard to get return from investing money. So for that, you need to have some knowledge, and you have to keep working to sharpen your mind, and you have to keep an eye on market, that how I can get return from my investing money. Nowadays, in social media, everyone keeps saying that it is very easy to earn money, but you are not coming out from your home. Means they are trying to prove us fool, but it's not like that. It's so hard to earn money from the market, but you have to research, and you have to keep expanding your networking, that how people are earning money and what kind of skill they are having, and from where they have developed such kind of skill. Why I am not that kind of person, where I am thinking, where I am putting my energy, and where should I put my energy to get return from my investing money, because money is something in this world that is so important to earn, and investing is very easy. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sher Singh. So do we have our next volunteer? So Nasir has raised his hand. The topic for you is investing in yourself is the best investment you can ever make. Investing in yourself is the best investment you can ever make. Nasir.
Thank you, Vishakha. Am I audible? Yeah, I agree with this thought that investment in yourself is the best investment. In any aspect, I believe as early as we gain the knowledge, and it definitely means enhance our net worth. So let me give my real lifetime example, and sometime later I may explain is in my speech as well. When I joined my job, so I came in contact with one of my friends, and he said to me that stock market is a complete gamble. So please stay away from this. At that time, I was not aware about different type of investment, so I just wanted to invest. So some friends gave me suggestion for PPF or mutual fund like that. So at that time, I thought that simplest option is PPF. I just opened that PPF account and I invested some money in that. And since then, means it was just like that. I used to invest in initially in PPF, or I just opened the FD. But in this current pandemic, I just came to know the power of the investment. I started gaining knowledge about the stock market. So this is the completely means false propaganda that stock market or the investment in means different type of these which are the advanced means platform for investing. Those are the gamble. This is just the means term of knowledge. If you don't have knowledge, then definitely it has the gamble. If you have knowledge, then it is the I will say it is the best platform. If I took my example, since that means I joined my job, and suppose I might have the same knowledge as I have right now, I might have been completely means free from my financial burden. So that is the power of the investment and the power of the knowledge. So yeah, means investment in yourself is the best investment. Just gain the knowledge. So knowledge is the best investment. So that's all. Thank you. And in future I will try to explain this in detail so that the guys can take the full advantage. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nasir. So we have next Manu Lakhanpal. Can you please unmute yourself? The topic for Manu, are you there?
Yeah, hi everyone. Am I audible?
Yes. The topic for you is: would you rather invest your money in high risk cryptocurrency with huge returns, or invest it in a safe fixed deposit?
Yeah, okay. Thank you for the topic, Vishaka. A very good afternoon to fellow Toastmasters and all esteemed guests. So if I have to choose between both of them, high risk and a safe, I'll go like, I'm a person who believes in contentment, as contentment is a key to satisfaction for everything in life. I think if anyone wants to have his dream life, I think being a contented person is one of the best goal that you can actually aspire for. So I think having a safe life with a blessing of God, I think that is more than enough for me. So I'll definitely go and opt for a fixed deposit with a safe hand. And also I think one thing, there's this beautiful quote said by someone that there's enough for everyone's needs, but there's not sufficient to complete everyone's desires, because desires are unlimited. So God has given us enough, which is actually needed for all of us to actually meet all our basic necessities. We have shelter, we have food, and we have such a beautiful family by the grace of God. So I think that is what the key essence is. The essence to life doesn't lie in the materialistic things. Rather, the essence lies in the beautiful virtues of value that actually embrace your soul and the beauty that you see in others. I think the best part is that whatever you see in others that is what reciprocated back to you. So if you'd like to look, whenever you feel like rising above in life, seeing the people who are doing very good in life, I must say that instead of getting yourself unstable, seeing other people, try to look downwards. Shakespeare very well said, I saw a man without shoes, and that completely transformed his life. So that is what our aspiration should be. We should not be a copycat. We should always be thankful to God and trust God that at the right time, the right things will happen for me, and they would actually bring me the true and inner satisfaction for me. So I think being in a safe hand and secure hand and trusting God and the divine, that at the right time, right things will definitely happen for you. And one thing, if something is meant for you, nobody can ever take it away from you. It's just that seeing the other person and getting yourself impatient that I also need it now is something which is not a right thing. So just trust the God and believe in destiny. Things will come to you. I have a very beautiful experience this, that once I wanted to be a winner of like Toastmasters contest, but I learned a lot in that process, and that day I realized that whatever best you can make of it, that is what the life is. So be always contented. Thank you so much. Over to the table topic master.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Manu. So I guess the time allotted for table topic section is up. Thank you, all the speakers. Over to you, Toastmaster Nimit.
Thank you. Thank you, Table Topics Master. And before we proceed, please vote for the best table topic speaker. Let me launch the polls.
Can you take away my access as a co-host so I can also vote?
I think we have already started with the polls. So what a wonderful round of table topics that was. So appropriate to the theme of the day. Thank you, Table Topics Master, for your beautiful topics, and I'm sure every one of you enjoyed them. So let us move on with the investments. Benjamin Franklin said, investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Centuries ago. Interestingly, the saying holds good today as well. The surest way to achieve a better quality life and be successful, productive, and satisfied is to place a priority on investing in both personal and professional growth. And growth is fostered by developing your skills, nurturing your mind, and keeping open the room of improvement, which is referred to as the biggest room in the world. And to help us improve today, let us welcome back the General Evaluator on the stage, please.
Mr. Toastmaster of the Day, thank you very much. I am back as General Evaluator. So it's been a wonderful meeting so far. I have seen Anant talk. I have seen Vishaka conduct table topics. I have seen Nimit play a wonderful Toastmaster of the Day. All of them are district officers, and it's so nice to see them taking up meeting roles. I found that the most difficult thing to do when I was a district officer. But I'm not here to talk about those three. They will get their due in due course. I will start with the speech evaluations, and I would like to invite the first speech evaluator. Coincidentally happens to be Anant. So here you go, Anant. The stage is all yours. You want to do an audio video check, or are you good?
Yes, am I audible?
You are audible and visible, and you are all systems go.
Thank you so much, Rupinder. Ladies and gentlemen, let us go back 2000 years ago in that fictitious courtroom or the assembly or the senate of the great Greeks. And imagine or visualize a speaker delivering there with a tablet or with a placard or maybe a piece of large paper in hand. That was supposed to be the birthplace of modern day public speaking. Let's fast forward. Let's go back to the legendary presentation by Steve Jobs of unveiling iPhone. And along the same way, let's also visualize maybe as one third example, any great explanation in any Marvel movies about the backstories of any Infinity Stone with some cool visual graphics. What do you recall? Was it always the presenter who you remember right now? Or is it the tool, or is it the the uh, PowerPoint that you saw in during in some manner in that presentation? I feel it is always a speaker that is the most important piece in this whole puzzle. I believe that the speaker Heena today displayed just the same. She was right from the beginning. She was lively. She was rhyming. She was singing. She was full of confidence, and that is what I would remember about this speech as well. PPTs, they were good. They were creative. They were funny in part. But I will always and always remember Heena for today's presentation, because that was one hell of a speech that I will remember, and I will set that as a benchmark for Heena from next time onwards as my expectation for sure. What can we improve in this otherwise passionate and lively presentation? Number one, I find some of the slides were not necessary at all, because they kind of distracted me from listening to Heena herself. Case in point, the space jokes, those slides required me to read while Heena was speaking in parallel. So perhaps Heena can avoid such slides, especially in the beginning or anywhere where she is speaking something important. Number two, I like chutney slide because that didn't require me to read anything at all. There was too much of information which I happily skipped. At the same time, I got the gist. So that was a happy slide. That was a good slide. In fact, the Jeep slide, the personalized slide with herself in the frame, that complemented to the content that she was speaking. So those were the good slides that Heena, you should have had. But other than that, my point here of improvement is, when you are not having any slide worth displaying at all, use the B or W button for a black or a white background, or just in case you can't disconnect the presentation at all. So to sum it up, I feel your passion, your liveliness is what I would take away from this speech. I would find these scope of improvement while handling and creating the PPDs themselves. Overall, well attempted. Looking forward to hear you more and presenting software in a much more efficient manner. All the best. Over to you, Rupinder.
Thank you, Mr. Evaluator, for that incisive evaluation. I will now again spotlight myself first of all. And now I would like to call on stage our second evaluator, Surjit Lakhnotra, adding him to spotlight. Surjit, audio video check, please.
Am I audible or visible?
Surjit, you're audible, you're visible, your weapons free and clear to engage.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. Power of mentoring in Toastmaster. Rajesh, you nicely explained how what is the importance of mentoring and how it can help all. You were very confident on stage. There was a vocal variety in your speech. Eye contact was awesome. And your speech has all the ingredients which make your speech awesome. The content was good and delivery of the speech was also wonderful. So few recommendations from my side. First is, I noticed that you asked question in the beginning of the speech, what you moved on without getting answer from the audience. So this can be improved in our next speech. I noticed that you were oscillating on your chair like this. This can be improved in next speech. I also noticed that you were bending forward and backward when there was transition in your speech. This can also be improved. I also noticed that you were looking outside of the camera, and this can be improved in our next speech. I also noticed that summary of the speech was a little abrupt, so it can be improved. I also noticed that you placed your hand on your forehead like this. So this was giving a wrong message, so it can be improved. So overall, speech was awesome, and I congratulate you for delivering such a wonderful speech by giving a examples using the marker to picturize the bundle of goods. This helps everybody to picturize or visualize the scene. You also, your hand gestures were also awesome. You also give important tips like which you follow your feelings, which you got from your mentors. Overall speech was awesome, and I looking forward such wonderful speeches from you. Good luck for your next speeches. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Many thanks, Surjit, and thank you for getting me on the spotlight. I will evaluate the table topic speaker and I will try to do that in 2 to 3 minutes. Raj, worst advice someone ever gave you for investments? Raj, one thing that I noticed that while you were delivering your speech, somebody came in your room, you got interrupted, but you did not let that interruption interrupt your speech. In fact, you went along like nothing had happened. So great job over there. I like the story that you told. My only recommendation, the opening, I thought that was kind of dragged and not necessary. If you got straight away started with the story, it would have probably made a better impact. Padmakumar, lesson to yourself in investing. Padma, what I loved was the energy, and then the 30 years, and then the 5 years, everything hitting me in the face with all the facts and the figures. And what a wonderful premise. A daughter is the best investment. I went back to my time when I was about to become a father and I so wanted a daughter. I ended up with a son. Not that I love him, but I totally relate to that. My advice to you, Padma, I thought that you kind of became really angry. You were trying to be energetic, but I thought you were giving shades of anger. So you might want to control that. Other than that, wonderful topic. Unique, craziest investment related fraud you've heard. Nice handling of a topic that you are not familiar with. And I think that is where the opportunity also lies. I think the meat of the topic, which was investing in relations, that kind of came in later. So maybe starting in that, maybe not all investments are financial in nature. Some of them are emotional investments. And I've had some examples of emotional investment frauds. And then you could have spoken about that. Kanika, spending money on a world tour or on gold traveling is your first love. That came out, that actually came out very well. And what I would like you to do, Kanika, is actually to tell it like a story. Deepika, investment scheme that doubles your money. I like the fact that you set the context in your story where you said that you do invest in share markets and then you told the story. I have two recommendations for you specifically. One, you were talking about choosing between long term versus short term. Could have presented it as an option like here was a long term investment, here was a short term investment. Where do you think I should go? I chose to go here, that sort of a thing. The other thing, in the start, you did not get on to the topic immediately. I would ask you to get on to your topic immediately. No point paying tributes to your mentor, of whom I am a mentor. But anyway, let's move on to Sher Singh. First, okay, I'm not understanding my own lesson. I like, I don't understand my writing. I like your vocal clarity. You spoke like an expert and you asked questions in the end. That is something that I liked. You might want to do a little something with the lighting in your room. Nasir, in investing in yourself is the best form of investment. I like that you told a story. Just one small piece of advice. You spoke about an FD, and although everyone knows what an FD is, you might want to expand it. Manu Lakhanpal, would you rather invest in crypto or FD? I like the argument about contentment. And that quote from Need versus Greed is from Gandhi. The kind of energy you portrayed, you might as well have given a 5 to 7 minute speech on the topic. Thank you very much. And that is it from my side. May I request the poll master to launch the polls for the best evaluator. And while that is happening, I will also ask my tag team to get on the job. I start by inviting my grammarian first. And our grammarian today is performing her role for the second time. Surbhi, can we have you on stage, please?
Yes, Mr. General Evaluator. I will give you all a situation. Suppose there is a game and player 1 knows all the rules about that game and also he wants to play that game. Player 2, he wants to play that game. However, he's not sure about all the rules of the game. Who is likely to win? Player 1, because he knows the rules about the game. Similarly, communication is also a game which has its set of rules, and grammar is the one which is the set of rules for that communication. So I would like to present my report telling you about the grammatical inaccuracies as well as the impressive grammar that you all have used. And I'll be sharing my screen. I hope my screen is visible. My screen is visible, right?
Yes, it is visible.
So the word of the day has been used 4 times. It has been used by Toastmaster Rupinder, guest Kanika, and Toastmaster Nimit. The idiom of the day is used 3 times, again by Toastmaster Rupinder and also by Toastmaster Rajesh and Toastmaster Kanika. Now, I would like to highlight the impressive words and phrases that I observed. Incorporate, used by Nimit, which means include. Aim for the stars, which means to aim for higher sets or maybe for some higher value, which is used by Heena. Cope up, used by Rajesh, which means overcome. Integral, which means important, used by Toastmaster Nimit. Emulate, which means imitate, used by Nimit. Hovering, which means hangover, and it is again used by Toastmaster Nimit. Interventions, actions to improve, and it is used by Toastmaster Anant. Hierarchy, which means ranking in a system, which is used by the Toastmaster Padma. Lucrative, which is used by Deepika, and the meaning of this word is produce a great profit. Blue chip, again used by Toastmaster Deepika, which means nationally recognized stock agency. Essence, which means spirit, used by guest Manu. Virtues, which means high moral standards, again used by Toastmaster Manu. Benchmark, a standard point, which is used by Toastmaster Anant. Incensive, which is used by Toastmaster Rupinder, which means intelligently analytical or have a clear thinking. Oscillating, which is used by Toastmaster Surjit, which means move or swing. Now, I would like to highlight some awkward usages, and that are socialize with more peoples. However, the correct usage will be socialize with more people. We never use S with people. It is always, it is never peoples, it is always people. Each one able to break it easily. This sentence seems a bit awkward because it does not have a helping verb. Each one was able to break it easily is the correct formation of a sentence. Third, each roles. Whenever we use each, we need to use a singular word ahead of it. So it should be each role. Each and every problems. When we use each and every, we need a singular word after that, which will be each and every problem. And last, one of the broker agent. Whenever we use one of the as the presider, we need to use it as one of the broker agents. We should have a plural verb ahead. And about mispronunciations, all was being used as all. However, I would like to tell you all that whenever we use the word A or any other letter A or any different letters, they have different sounds in all the words. However, like scar, it has the sound A as A, scar. Apple has the sound A as A in it. So all is used as O. The sound of A here is O. So we need to see that all the words that we use might have different pronunciation or specific letter in it. So this will be my report, and I would like to sum up by saying that all the role players were quite prepared, and there were not much mispronunciations and awkward usages. However, we had a lot of set of impressive words. Thank you. Over to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Well, thank you very much, Madam Grammarian. I would now like our counter, Kanika, to be spotlighted so that she can deliver her report. Kanika, the stage is all yours.
Hi everyone. Before sharing the report, I would like to give you some tips on how to improve and how to reduce the filler words. So, an effective way to lessen filler words is simply to slow down so you can speak more clearly. Another way to reduce fillers is to replace or any other filler words with pauses. Do not worry, if you speak slowly or with pauses, you are not going to miss any boat. It will only help you foster fluent communication skills. By using both these tips of speaking slowly and using pauses, you will be able to turn your weakness into strength. I would be sharing the report on both the WhatsApp groups and request the participants to keep a note and work on improving the same. Now I will be sharing the report and I would request you all to take a look at it and just a second. Are you able to see the report?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so people who have used the filler words up to 2 times, they have been marked in blue. For people who've used it for more than 3 times and 3 times, it's been marked in green. And for individuals who've used it for more than 4 times, it's been marked in red. So I would request you all to take a look. Let me know if you need any clarifications.
Thank you, Kanika. You might want to share a PDF of this in the meeting, and we'll
Sure.
also do it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great job, Kanika, and excellent tips. Let's now call upon the final role player. I call this person my person Friday. I would like Robinson Crusoe had Man Friday. Let me call on stage Rama to deliver her timer report.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. Now I would like to share my screen to share my timer report. Hope you all can see my screen.
Yes.
Thank you. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. Today meeting started well on time at 1:30 p.m. and there were 3 disqualifications today. Now starting with our prepared speeches, Speaker Heena spoke for 6 minutes 43 seconds and Speaker 2 Rajesh spoke for 6 minutes 13 seconds. Now coming to the table topics. So we had 8 speakers today and Raj spoke for 2 minutes 14 seconds. Speaker 2 Padmakumar spoke for 1 minute 29 seconds. Unique spoke for 1 minute 36 seconds. Kanika spoke for 1 minute 41 seconds. Deepika spoke for 2 minutes 20 seconds. Sher Singh spoke for 1 minute 45 seconds. Nasir spoke for 2 minutes 39 seconds. And Manu spoke for 2 minutes 16 seconds. Now coming to the evaluator. So Anant spoke for 3 minutes 45 seconds and Surjit spoke for 2 minutes 21 seconds. And role player Surbhi spoke for 5 minutes 8 seconds and Kanika spoke for 2 minutes and mine is 2 minutes 13 seconds. Thank you so much. Over to Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Madam Timer. May I request polls for the best auxiliary role player? Oh, while that is happening, let me go about with the meeting. We will start with a rather inefficient sergeant at arms who started the meeting on time, but went on to speak garrulously, so thus effectively delaying the start of the meeting. The presiding officer, though, had a wonderful opening, recognizing all the dignitaries in the house. My only request to the presiding officer is perhaps you could smile a little bit more. The Toastmaster of the day, I'll give you a background about this. This was a role that was supposed to be played by someone else, and the Toastmaster of the day took it up, did not change the theme of the meeting, and yet made this topic his own. So big whoop to our Toastmaster of the day. Great job done. I also like the way he called out Rajesh as our treasurer 2.0, a new and improved version of our treasurer, if you will. To the Toastmaster of the day, I have one request. There was a slight bit of background noise that was happening that was kind of interfering with your overall very effective performance. A few about about the Techmaster, the Power Talk speaker, Anant Katyayni. Anant, thank you for taking this up literally yesterday and preparing such a wonderful speech. My only bone of contention, and we'll keep on playing table tennis on it back and forth, is that a rhetorical question does not wait for 5 seconds to be answered, unless that was not a rhetorical question, in which case I take back the only recommendation that I have for you. Now, moving on to the table topics master. She was also our presiding officer. I will say that the topics chosen were very relevant to the theme. And although some of them were kind of longer, but they were definitely understandable, I would recommend that just have topics that are less than 10 words in length, because they are easier to remember. It's not a recommendation on the table topics master, but the general evaluator should have seen to it that all players or role players have their roles prefixed to their respective names, so that it becomes easier for the table topic master to identify who are role players and who not to give table topics to. I would commend the table topics master. Wonderful attempt, wonderful topics. You were able to get in 8 topics. just work on the length, because possibly there was a ninth topic in there if the titles were slightly smaller. Now, moving on to my speech evaluators. Anant, great evaluation as always. 2 recommendation, one of them again back and forth between us. Try to stay within the time limits. And I should not say that because I did not at a very crucial state. Also, I thought that the Senate was Roman. It was not Greek. I may be wrong. I'm not a history buff, but my belief is that the Senate was Roman. What I really liked about your evaluation, Anant, for those of you who don't know, Anant is a presentation coach, and he could have easily deep dived into the speaker's evaluation, but he brought out only the most relevant areas of improvement. So great job there, Anant. Surjit, I have nothing but praise for you. A great job done. Followed the CRC approach. Also had a summary towards the end. I have 3 recommendations for you. First one was that your recommendations were a combination of I noticed and then I also noticed, and then this can be improved. So it would start with I noticed, this can ended with this can be improved. I also noticed, this can be improved. So it was kind of becoming like a filler word. So next time, let's try something different. I'll work with you on this. Also tell what can be improved. Just by instead of saying this can be improved, tell what can be improved or show them a way out. And last but not the least, Surjit, I am reading from a paper. It is totally fine to read from a paper. I now turn my attention to my tag team. Timer, flawless job. I loved how you called out the disqualifications, did not name them, just said that there were disqualifications and just read out the time. And I also liked how you timed yourself at the end, that I have now taken 2 minutes and 13 seconds. Our counter, awesome report. And that is the way I would like you to present. No fluff, no nonsense. This is it. These are some tips. Use them. Don't use them. Your call. Have a look at the screen. 2 things that I want you to improve. 1, give an analysis that someone okay, these are the speakers that did not have any challenges with the filler words. Also, when you are color coding, maybe people who did not have any challenges, their rows can be green, and then it could be yellow, and then it could be red. People who had 0 filler words, maybe just keep them white so that you can clearly demarcate them. To the grammarian, it was not a grammarian report to me. It came across more as an English lesson. I'm pretty sure that my English is improved by miles. I liked your attention to detail. My recommendations to you, number 1, obviously, is be mindful of time. You could cut down on the introduction in the beginning and towards the end. Also, suggest it like a communication skill, that okay, this was said, can be better said as this, because I don't think that, at least I felt, the nuances could have been avoided and it would have helped you save a lot of time. Coming to the meeting, overall the meeting went very well. We ticked almost all the boxes, but I would like to place on record one thing, that there were a couple of backouts. Backouts affect the meeting quality in a not so positive manner. We are looking to have a consistent experience, and many times the role players are prepared and it becomes difficult to find a replacement role player, number 1. Number 2, that replacement role player might not have the same context as you have. So let's keep the backouts to an absolute minimum. As a general evaluator, I had a wonderful time. I want to apologize. I was eating throughout, but my mother has made something which is not very pleasant, and she insists that I finish it, and I really fear her, so I'm going to finish it. And I'm going to finish this general evaluation as well. It was an honor being your general evaluator. Mr. Toastmaster of the day, please take it away.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator, for that comprehensive and insightful report you shared. And I'm sure we all are going back as an improved individual and a Toastmaster. So till now, we have seen that investing in our own mental and physical health, relationships and networks, and in our own learning and growth can help us be a very much improved individual. It helps you to commit to become a better version of yourself. In fact, the best version of yourself every day. And by doing that, you make success imminent. You are the most important asset after all for you. And these investments don't even come with any market risk. So please, please invest in your health, relationships, and your own learning and growth. And what better platform to practice and implement these learnings than Toastmasters itself, which aims at developing communication and leadership skills and providing positive and supportive feedback to make you a champion. So invest in yourself and invest in Toastmasters. To know how to invest, please contact our presiding officer cum Vice President membership of Spearhead Toastmasters, Vishaka Sharma. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, Nimit. Thanks to all the role players and the speakers for making this meeting amazing. It was flawlessly conducted. Thank you so much, everyone. Now, there are a few people who took their first steps towards their Toastmasters journey by joining us as a guest. So I would request, okay, before that, we have the polls for the best role player. Can you please select one? Okay, so sure. We started with a number of guests with us. Now we have Arshad Zaman. Can you please unmute yourself? And in the interest of time, we'll keep our feedback to a feedback for us and a takeaway for you. Over to you, Arshad.
Okay. Thank you for inviting me. Actually, I just very few times I joined Toastmaster, Gulshan Toastmaster Club, Dhaka. Recently, I became Sergeant and Arms. And also in WhatsApp group, I was invited your session. So from this session, I have learned much. So now I thought my here activity, which really encouraged me to do lots in Toastmaster. Now I am feeling that is maybe I missed the boat. However, let's try from now again. So if I continue like Toastmaster, and also since I got some points that makes me energetic, some smiling and encourage me and thankful, and some lots of knowledge I got. I am really happy to see your session. If I missed, then I am really missed something. Now I feel it is my great investment myself this time. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much for your kind words, Arshad. We really hope that you'll keep coming back to our meetings. Thank you so much. Next, we have Padmakumar.
My great takeaway today is a phrase that I love: dangerous dreams. Start having dangerous dreams. I also am very happy to note, in terms of the encouraging words that senior Toastmasters in the team have for the newbies as well as the less experienced Toastmasters. I think there is mentoring happening every single minute of the meeting, and that I love. You are really doing a grand job, all senior Toastmasters. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Padmakumar. Next, we have Jim. Jim, I saw you earlier mentioned that you're not able to speak today. Is it okay for you to speak?
Yeah, I can speak now. Yeah, great meeting. I must say I'm not a big fan of tag team showing their screen with a table of figures and numbers. So if this is the screen, imagine you're only using half. The table occupies half, and then the top bit is all the menus. So this is the size that we're seeing on the screen, which is tiny. And then, I can't see the names, I can't see the numbers, I can't see anything. So really, if we imagine that we're on a stage in a physical meeting, it's all about the presentation and the gestures and all that and speaking. It's not about showing a PowerPoint as a timer or as a counter. Anyway, that's a minor thing. And the other thing was I heard the laws are different. The laws over here, if we're talking about investments and things like that, you need a license to do that because people can get the wrong idea. So I heard the words investment and cryptocurrency in the same sentence. Now, cryptocurrency is what we would call speculation. It's a speculative instrument. It's not investment. It's a completely different thing. So I think, for balance, we should be able to, we should hear, okay, there's investment and then there's speculation. But overall, a very well-run meeting. The general evaluator is very detailed, excellent. And my takeaway was from division director, his points on using Zoom and engagement with the audience and looking at the lens. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Jim. Those were certainly really great observations. Thank you so much. Next, we have Manu Lakhanpal. Are you there? Can you please unmute?
Yeah, I just have one point. It was really good. I really like the tag team. So thank you. It was nice to be a part of the meeting. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Manu. Keep coming back. Next, can we have, did I miss anyone? Okay, there were other guests as well. I'll reach out to them personally, one-on-one over phone or call.
We have Nasir.
Nasir. We have Nasir. I think Nasir has left the meeting.
Nasir is here, but I would before that, may I request everyone to please turn on your videos. I forgot to take a Zoom fee for today. Please turn your videos on. I'm asking nicely. And those that know me will tell you that there are very few times when I ask nicely. Rajesh, turn your video on. I'm not going to ask you again. No, that's me being nice. Heena, can we please have your video on? Rajesh, can we please have your video on? And guest Jim, can you please come into that background wherever you are? All right, here goes. So those who missed, they missed. And oh, what I did not. Okay, let's do a victory sign so that we can have a great. And here goes 3, 2, and 1. Oh, come on, you're supposed to. All right, here goes. Got it. Thank you very much. All the best.
Thank you, Rupinder, for the Zoom fee. Nasir, can we have your feedback?
Hi, Vishaka. Yeah, I joined little bit late, but yeah, it was a great meeting. Overall, great topics, and the team also performed well, and Anant gave a very good session, and overall it was a great meeting. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nasir. Next, I would like to hand over the stage to distinguished Toastmaster Rupinder to announce the poll results for today.
Okay. Yeah, of course. I'll to announce the poll. First, I have to get the right screen. Where is it from? Right. We are. I don't want to share it. Okay. Share screen. Right. We are back sharing our screens. So we've started a practice at Spearhead. We give a standing ovation to a person playing the role for the first time. And today our counter of the day was playing her role for the first time. So many congratulations, Kanika Dalmia. Great job done as an counter. Excellent report as well. A special recognition to our Power Talk speaker, Anant Katyayni. Hopefully Power Talk will become a feature of this meeting going forward. Great job done, Anant. Thank you for sharing those valuable tips. Now, starting with the top 3 table topic speaker, our third best table topic speaker, we have a new entry over here, folks. Give it up for Manu Lakhanpal. Great job. Now, the top 2 table topic speakers did not give me too much to do. I just had to swap them. So this week's second best table topic speaker was last week's best table topic speaker. Many congratulations, Unique Katnoria. And Padmakumar, I'm going to call him the Mika Hakkinen of Toastmasters because of the way he keeps on coming back to the top. Great job done there, Padma. Wonderful. The best speech evaluator. Now, this is the reason why you must finish your speeches within time, but very well deserved, Surjit Lakhnotra. Great job. Stuck to the basics, kept it right. That's how it must be done. The best auxiliary role player, again, happiness abound. The counter takes it today. Kanika Dalmia, many congratulations for that wonderful report. The best role player. Did we even have polls for best role player? Oh, yes, we did. And yes, I am not the best role player today. Actually, we have 2 of them. And the current area director, Nimit Mitta, many congratulations. And our PD iPad, Vishakha Sharma. President Distinguished Immediate Past Area Director. Vishakha, that will sound so much better next to your name. PD iPad. Better than a PhD. And our best speaker today, well, she had that presentation thing going. Heena Verma. Many congratulations. Heena, honestly, you should start preparing for the international speech contest. You should start preparing now.
All right, that's a compliment. Thank you.
Yeah, most welcome. With that, I will stop the sharing. With your permission, Presiding Officer, I will also stop the recording. Okay,
yes.
I'm stopping the recording. Thank you very much. And now the floor is open. I'm supposed to stop recording. Yes, I want